There is a secret language that the universe uses to reveal truth to us. It is not spoken, but felt. It is not seen with the eyes, but recognized by the soul. When a man is truly in love with you, it isn't just his behavior that changes. The very fabric of reality seems to conspire to make it clear. The signs appear in dreams, unexpected coincidences, meaningful silences, and gestures that resonate with something far deeper than words can explain. True love does not hide, even when the ego tries to disguise it. It pulses in the synchronistic moments that Jung described as messages from the collective unconscious. In this script, we will uncover how analytical psychology reveals these signs and how you can recognize them. If you believe that true love expresses itself through the soul, comment below. I trust the universe's signs. Carl Jung taught us that life is not merely a succession of random events, but a profound journey of self-knowledge in which the unconscious plays an essential role. When it comes to love, especially true love, the manifestation of that feeling transcends the boundaries of consciousness and expresses itself through symbols, archetypes, and synchronistic events, subtle clues sent by the universe to unveil what is hidden. According to Jung, the process of individuation, the journey of becoming who we truly are, demands an encounter with our shadow, that is, everything we suppress or remain unaware of within ourselves. Often it is through meeting another person, especially someone with whom we feel a deep connection, that these hidden parts emerge. If he is genuinely in love, the relationship not only awakens emotions, but also triggers inner transformations in both of you. Real love is not comfortable. It provokes, mirrors, challenges, and heals. Projection is another essential concept. Initially, we project onto the other person what we idealize, the image of the perfect match. But over time, if the bond is real, these projections fall away, revealing who we truly are and who the other truly is. The depth of that bond becomes evident when, even after this unveiling, love endures and deepens. Moreover, Jung spoke of integrating the anima and animus, the masculine aspect in the woman, animus, and the feminine aspect in the man, anima. When a man truly loves, he connects with his anima, enabling him to see beyond outward appearance. He perceives the woman's soul, and it is this vision that makes the universe align in favor of their union. When a man is truly in love, the most authentic signs do not come only from his words or rehearsed gestures, but from his unconscious, that part of the psyche that operates silently, guiding behaviors, emotions, and decisions without his awareness. For Jung, the unconscious is not merely a repository of repressed memories, but a living source of symbols, profound desires, and essential truths. It is there that the spark of the soul resides, and through it true love begins to manifest, however subtly. One of the first indications that his unconscious is revealing itself through love is a change in behavior without rational explanation. He feels compelled to be near you even without knowing exactly why. Recurring dreams featuring your image, involuntary memories, or distractions during routine activities may signal that your presence is being processed in the deeper layers of his psyche. The conscious mind may resist or rationalize, but the unconscious remains active, signaling that something there needs recognition. Another crucial aspect is the emergence of emotions he's unaccustomed to feeling. A man who has always been emotionally reserved may suddenly find himself experiencing a new sensitivity. This happens because the presence of someone who touches his soul activates the integration of his anima. The unconscious feminine aspect, Jung said, dwells in every man's psyche. This inner encounter triggers a movement beyond mere physical attraction. He faces feelings that confront him with his own depths. This emotional opening is not a conscious choice. It is a revelation provoked by a significant connection. The unconscious also expresses itself through symbolic actions. He may start offering small gifts, planning meaningful moments, or sharing intimate details without understanding why he feels compelled to do so. Such gestures are not manipulative or calculated. They are impulses that come from the soul. Jung considered that symbols and rituals are the means by which the unconscious finds expression. Thus, a simple act, like remembering a detail you mentioned only once, can be the symbolic way his unconscious communicates the importance you've come to hold. There is often resistance. True love confronts. He may pull away temporarily, confused, because this intense emotional activation stirs not only noble desires, but also deep fears. This inner conflict between drawing near and retreating is one of the clearest signs that his unconscious is trying to process something greater than the ego can control. It isn't ordinary insecurity, but a symbolic battle between internal parts. The desire to surrender versus the fear of losing the known self. Another important sign is slips of the tongue, or Freudian slips. Seemingly by accident, he might call you by an affectionate nickname, reveal feelings in garbled sentences, or contradict himself when trying to hide what he feels. For Jung, these moments are not errors, but openings through which the unconscious speaks. When such slips become frequent, it is a clear sign that his unconscious is attempting to bring a truth to light that his rational mind hasn't yet admitted. Furthermore, the synergy between you may start to influence his behavior in surprising ways. He might develop new interests, adopt healthier habits, or even change his worldview. This happens because when the unconscious recognizes something transformative, like true love, it seeks to restructure the personality around that new discovery. It is as if the psyche is adjusting itself to accommodate something sacred. Finally, if he feels a profound peace in your presence, even without understanding why, that is a sign that your presence aligns with something essential within him. The unconscious recognizes the soul before the conscious mind comprehends. And when love is real, it first reveals itself as an inner mystery, a silent certainty born effortlessly, yet growing in intensity. Jung left us one of the most intriguing and revolutionary ideas in psychology, the concept of synchronistic events. He described these experiences as meaningful coincidences that cannot be explained by cause and effect, but carry deep significance, revealing hidden connections between the external world and our inner reality. When two souls are destined to meet, the universe seems to move invisible pieces to bring it about. Not by force, but through events that seem random, yet are laden with symbolic meaning that cannot be ignored. When a man is truly in love with you, and that connection is genuine, spiritual, archetypal, these synchronistic events intensify. You find yourself running into him in unexpected places, thinking of him only to receive a message, hearing a song that perfectly expresses what you're living, or noticing repeating numbers at moments when your energies connect. These small, apparently random occurrences are actually symbolic expressions of a deeper alignment. For Jung, they indicate that the collective unconscious is at work, orchestrating a meeting with a greater purpose. Synchronistic events often surface when there is a call for inner growth. True love is not merely a meeting of two people, it is an invitation to transformation. And destiny acts like a symbolic mirror. If you are ready for this kind of bond, the universe begins to cooperate, not by magic, but because your psyche aligns with an unconscious desire for connection. The same happens with him. When both resonate on the same symbolic frequency, these coincidences cease to be random and become coded messages from the soul. Sometimes a reunion from the past occurs during moments of crisis or transition. Jung believed that the self, the regulating center of the psyche, guides us, even unconsciously, toward reunions and experiences that bring us closer to wholeness. So if a man re-enters your life just as you're re-examining your beliefs, undergoing healing, or questioning your identity, it's not mere nostalgia, it is his unconscious responding to your inner call. That reunion carries a symbolic purpose beyond the surface. Often these events also unfold through dreams. Repeatedly dreaming of him, feeling his presence in moments of silence, or noticing symbolic messages in books, films, or conversations can be the universe revealing that something greater is at play. For Jung, dreams are direct manifestations of the unconscious communicating with consciousness. If he too reports dreams about you, or starts recalling seemingly insignificant shared moments, it strongly indicates that his unconscious is recognizing your presence as significant, archetypal, and transformative. It is important to understand that synchronistic events are not mechanisms for proof, but invitations to look more deeply. When you witness symbolic happenings connected to him, you don't seek logic, you seek meaning. True love, when it emerges, activates a dance between inner and outer realities. Synchronistic events are the rhythm of that dance, guiding the steps so that the meeting occurs at the right time. under the exact circumstances that favor the awakening of both souls. Many people ignore these signs, dismissing them as mere coincidences. But when two people are destined to meet, even if everything conspires against it, destiny finds a way. Jung would say it's not luck or chance, it's the visible manifestation of an invisible reality, the union of two unconscious minds that recognize each other. And when that happens, the world around responds with almost mystical precision. If these signs have appeared in your life, the universe is likely trying to speak to you. Pay attention to details, unexpected encounters, and recurring symbols. They are not there by accident. They are coded messages that, if heard with the soul, reveal what the heart already knows. That true love has the exact timing and setting to bloom, and that destiny, in its silent wisdom, is already at work. At the beginning of any relationship, especially one marked by an intense connection, it is common to see the other not as they are, but as we wish them to be. Jung called this phenomenon projection, an unconscious process in which we cast our own internal contents onto the other, ideals, expectations, and unresolved needs. When a man is in love, he too projects. But the real test of love doesn't come at the height of idealization, but when those projections begin to crumble. It is at this point that true love can finally take root. During the initial phase, the woman may represent his anima, the archetype of his inner feminine, embodying emotional, intuitive, and relational aspects he has yet to integrate. Seeing her, he unconsciously identifies her as the missing link of his psychic wholeness. This awakens enchantment, desire, fascination. But over time, as daily life brings reality, with its flaws, differences, and limitations, the projected image begins to collapse. This process may be uncomfortable, but it is profoundly necessary. When projections fall away, many men retreat. They feel betrayed by an image that, in truth, never existed outside their minds. But those who are truly in love face this inner shock and, instead of fleeing, choose to stay. They recognize that the woman before them is not a fantasy, but a real person, with her own journey, pains, and lights. And it is precisely in this recognition that authentic love begins. When he no longer loves the idea of you, but you as you are. That moment of rupture is also transformative for the woman. The dismantling of his projections can be painful, as she may feel she is no longer viewed as special. But in reality, she is being seen more deeply. When he continues to draw near even after seeing her vulnerabilities, it shows that the bond has surpassed the superficial layer of idealization. He has begun to love not just what she represents, but who she truly is. This marks the start of the conscious integration of love, where the relationship is built not on illusions, but on presence, acceptance, and truth. The falling away of projections also activates the shadow in both partners. He may confront aspects of himself he did not wish to face: jealousy, fear of abandonment, insecurity, need for control, while she may notice old patterns repeating. Jung saw this confrontation as a portal. It is when both have the chance to transcend ego games and immerse in a deeper, healing relationship. True love does not eliminate conflict, but transforms it into mutual growth. Authenticity after projection collapse is marked by conscious choices. He starts asking himself, who is she really? Can I love her as she is without the veil of fantasy? What is this bond teaching me about myself? These questions do not arise from fear, but from emotional maturity. And if he stays, even amid these uncertainties, it reveals that his love is rooted in a truth that does not depend on an idealized image, but on genuine connection with your essence. This stage also allows for a new kind of intimacy, not based on enchantment but on understanding. He listens more deeply, holds your gaze with greater presence, and respects your silences and boundaries. You, in turn, may find you no longer need to perform to be loved. The relationship becomes a space where both can simply be without masks, strategies, or fear of falling short of projected expectations. When projections dissolve and the bond endures, love takes root. Jung said that the true meeting of two souls happens only after projections run their course. That is when the real dance begins, between two whole individuals, conscious of themselves, open to the other, yet not losing themselves. And that is the fertile ground where true love can blossom, not as a fairy tale but as a real, symbolic, and transformative journey. Deep love does not occur on the surface. It is born in the subterranean realms of the psyche, where our most hidden, repressed, and forgotten parts live. Jung called this territory the shadow, the total of what we are but deny, hide, or avoid seeing. In a genuine relationship, especially one of soul connection, sooner or later each person's shadow is summoned to appear. And when his shadow meets yours, love is tested intensely, but also sets you free in a profound way. Contrary to common belief, the emergence of the shadow does not signify the end of love. It signifies its deepening. When he is affected by aspects of you that disturb him or trigger unexpected emotional reactions, it means old wounds have been touched. Likewise, his presence may awaken in you fears of rejection, abandonment, or control. This does not happen by chance. The psyche is wise, and when two unconscious minds connect authentically, they become perfect mirrors of each other's wounds. Jung believed that the other often carries the very content we need to integrate. That is why he said, "Intimate relationships are a path to individuation, the process of becoming whole." When he truly falls in love, and that passion touches something beyond the ego, he will inevitably face his own vulnerability. The image of the invulnerable, self-sufficient man begins to crumble, and he confronts emotions he never wished to feel: jealousy, fear of loss, insecurity, and surrender. If he remains despite the discomfort, it is because love has crossed the threshold from idealization to healing. It is at this point that conflicts emerge, not from lack of love, but because love is revealing what needs transformation. He may react with anger, withdrawal, or confusion. You may feel hurt, misunderstood, even rejected. But if both can navigate this dark field without running away, something sacred happens. The shadow ceases to be an enemy and becomes a teacher. It shows where there is still pain, neediness, pride, and control. And true love becomes the space where all this can surface safely. When he faces his shadow and acknowledges he needs to change patterns, revisit beliefs, or heal old traumas to be with you, he is in fact guided by his own soul. Jung said love is an alchemical force. It turns the lead of personality into the gold of consciousness. But this alchemy is not light. It demands confrontation, ego death, and the courage to strip oneself emotionally. And that is what separates fleeting loves from truly transformative bonds. Likewise, when your shadow encounters his, you too face important choices. True love is not indulgent but compassionate. It does not demand perfection, but demands presence. To see his dark sides, his limitations, fears, defensive impulses, and still remain open to the bond is an act of greatness. It is not about accepting abuse or romanticizing pain, but understanding that to love someone truly is to accept the whole human being, including what still seeks healing. This meeting of shadows can be the doorway to the most authentic bond possible. It is when he sees your fragility and you see his humanity, and yet choose to stay. That is not weakness. It is rare emotional strength, because deep love does not flee from the shadow. It traverses it. It makes the relationship fertile ground where truth can bloom, without anyone needing to be perfect. When two beings face their shadows together, the relationship ceases to be merely an emotional exchange and becomes a spiritual path. And perhaps that is the greatest sign the universe can give. If he stays even when the relationship demands growth, deconstruction, and healing, then it is not the ego that is in love, it is the soul. And when the soul loves, love does not end, it evolves. True love is not built only with sweet words or moments of enchantment. It is born in the depths of the unconscious, manifests through symbols, survives the fall of projections, and grows in the fertile soil where shadow and soul meet. When a man is truly in love with you, the universe begins to reveal that truth by paths beyond the obvious. In synchronistic events, inexplicable gestures, and transformations he undergoes by your side, even without fully understanding why. This love is not perfect, but it is real. It challenges, confronts, and heals. And if you know how to listen to the signs, you will realize that what you feel is not imagination, but a profound call to live a bond of meaning. If this journey resonated with you, subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and continue exploring with us the deepest layers of the human soul. And don't forget to watch the video on your screen. It might bring exactly the next piece of your inner puzzle. Remember, true love does not deceive, it reveals. And when it is real, the universe finds 1,000 ways to whisper, "This is the way."